Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM21 Build a Nation story from Bangor City with me, Daniel. It's part 26 today and we're back for season 4 and we're hoping domestically it will be a lot better than the last one, and somehow in Europe, despite a harder route, we'll be able to get as much success in the qualifiers and build our coefficient as much as possible. We've also got a transfer special, of course, loads of players coming into the club this summer and the work is not done yet as we try to regain our Welsh Premier League crown. So if you're looking forward to all of that, please do put a thumbs up on the video. If you are enjoying the series so far and you do want to stay up to date, please do subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on. You'll get alerts as daily content releases from 2 long-term stories every day at 3:30, including this one of course. And we've also got another live stream. That one's today at 5:30. But a massive thank you for your continued support with this series and the head coach as we move into our 4th season. Of course, the first 2 years in this save were a little bit plain sailing. We thought it might get too easy. In the 3rd season, it all came crashing down. Barrytown United battered us to the league title. We struggled in Europe, we lost in the Welsh Cup final, and all we had to show for our season was a League Cup trophy. And even that, we only just about nicked. So it is going to be a very difficult season. We've got the second leg of our first qualifying round. Of course, this season we're in the league path for the Europa Conference. Last season we started in the Champions League, then went into the Champions path. So we know if we get through in this one against Torpedo, who we beat 3-1 in the first leg, we'll have a second round tie against Dinamo Brest of Belarus. But then from the 3rd round onwards, it could get very, very tricky if we get past the Belarusians. But let's stick with the transfer news first, because there's plenty to come on that front. We've really done a bit of an overhaul of the squad this summer. You can see some new names already in and around this screen, as we try and give ourselves the edge domestically, but also prepare for Europe in the future. We've got a very young squad, only 2 players over the age of 23, and we would like to improve that in the future. But let's firstly have a look at the players that have gone out and the ones that we've brought in to replace them. Then we'll talk about how they played against Torpedo and get into the second leg against the Georgians. So there are 2 more players potentially coming in yet, but I have left that for now as a surprise. We'll look at them next episode if we need to. But let's look at the long list of players that we've let go, and that can be via releasing them or moving them on. So Kay McLagan played a few games last year. Came in, it didn't really work out for him. So he's gone on now and he's available on a free. George Glendon the same, came in as a backup after we lost a few players to January before. Never really got going again after injury. Jimmy Spencer has gone to Connors Quay. He left on a free at the end of his deal, taking a much lower wage there. And Liam Nolan has left, again, flat to deceive a lot of the time and struggled with injuries. Aaron Amadi Holloway refused a new deal on the same money. He wanted 150 quid more. And it just didn't suit with the way he was playing, so he's been let go as well. Gus Mafuta, a bit of a disappointing one. We would have liked to have ideally kept him, but he wanted more of a status and more of a contract than we could offer. Though looking at that, TNS one of the clubs in for him, he might well be staying in Wales yet. And finally, Ryan Law from the first team, backup left back, barely played a game for us, wasn't good enough, and caused a lot of dressing room revolts. He was always going to be off. So they're the released players. Let's go and have a look at the players we've just let go as well. So the first one was Owen Moore, which was pre-agreed. He's gone to Stockport for £700. Joins the likes of Eriksson and Kretschmar, who went there the previous January. So he's the first one out. And then the 5 that have happened this year, all loan deals. We've got Macaulay Flanagan to Connors Quay. He was at Aberystwyth on loan last year. Another youngster in Jack Bodenham has gone to Connors Quay. He finished last season there. Shane Owen's gone to Cambrian and Clydeback, the young goalkeeper. Unfortunately, he's not really improving with football, so I'm not sure he's going to make it just yet. Aaron Morris, one of our young stars, has gone to Gresford. His potential's going down, so I'm a bit worried about him. But if he can make a career for himself in the Welsh game, that would be a positive nonetheless. And then Tyler Cordner has gone to Woking over in the National League. A solid centre-half. We bought him in last January. It just didn't work out, so he's transfer listed. We've sort of tried to get rid of a lot of these with the lower determination or the poorer personalities, just so we can get a bit better when we go a goal behind, so we can be a bit more proactive in chasing a game. So Cordner will do well for Woking, but he doesn't quite suit us. What it does mean though, is we've got 6 new signings there, and one that we'd already bought in June. So 7 new players coming to the club, plenty to get through. So let's go and take a look at them. Let me know what you think of them as we go along, whether you think we're going to compete for the title again, or are we going to be doomed and resign to second place or lower? Of course, I've tried to be tight with the wage budget because we have been losing money but not being in the Champions League this year. We will lose out on some qualifying rounds as well. Glatzel's left Watford at the end of his contract. We're never getting him in, I'm afraid. He wanted about £3,000 a week or something. Let's see what it is now. If we go and have a look, he wants a lot. I mean, even Morgan Smith suggesting 925. We can't afford that at all. Ethan Vaughan stays after his loan deal, though he is flattering to deceive on the pitch. And the first permanent signing of the summer was Brandon Mason. He replaces Ryan Law, who was leaving at the end of his contract. Only 2-star ability Mason and 25 years of age, but 4.5 potential still. So there's a great player in there. I just wonder if he's going to be a late bloomer. Perhaps the full-time football will help him. He's been at Coventry on the books, and he did play 12 games in League One the season before last. He played 27 in the Scottish Premiership the season before that. He's played good football at a high level, and it's just seeing if he can really unlock that potential, because if he does, we've got some player on our hands. He's only on £170 a week, so it's not much of an expense to find out, and it gives us a backup to Jack Bolton. We can't really complain. On to the ones that are officially this season. We've got Cammy Palmer, a Northern Irish central midfielder, 22 caps for the under-21s, came from Rangers, but had loan spells at the likes of Partick Thistle, Orange County and Clyde. He's a solid player, 3-star ability, 4.5 potential. Another one with decent determination and fairly good technical stats as well. Can play either side as a Carrilero or box-to-box and can cover in that holding role and number 10 too. So a solid addition, a good backup player and within our wage structure as well. Next up is Alex Reid on a free from Manchester United, an under-20 international for Wales at 18 years of age. Never got past his scholarship basically. £325 a week, 3.5-star ability, 5-star potential. Great at the key stats, though a poor personality. So we've got him working in a mentoring group. He's out on international at the duty at the moment, so he's not playing in the qualifiers. But ideally, I'd like him to be first backup and get him training this season. That relies on another signing later on though. So a good player and potentially a very good addition for us. But I don't want to get too excited about him just yet, because if he doesn't improve mentally and in terms of mentoring, I don't know that we're going to unlock his potential. However, one man we won't need to do that for is Evan Press. He joins us from Barry Town United, the Welsh Premier League champions. He refused to sign a new deal there because they were semi-pro. They wouldn't offer him an increased wage, I guess. And there were a few English clubs sniffing around. So part of the Builder Nation is keeping the best players in the league. So 4-star ability, 4.5 potential. He's a fabulous all-round player. He's a natural central midfielder and he will start there for us. But he's also going to be a backup at centre-half, where he's got good quality and good attributes. He's scored goals against us in the past, he's played really well against us, and we know he's going to be a top-quality player. So that might be the difference between Barry winning the title and us winning the title. But I felt it was better we kept him in the Welsh League than letting him go over to play lower league football in England. And that's always going to be my priority when building a nation. But on the face of it, a really exciting signing, played fantastically in the first leg of the European Qualifier. I think we've got a good player on our hands. Now, lastly, you will have noticed with Holloway leaving, Glatzel's loan finishing, also Jimmy Spencer and Kay McLagan leaving, we're very short of strikers and we haven't brought any in yet. But these last three might change this save forever. So Joe Duffy is the first of 3 strikers to come in, a 19-year-old Englishman, 13 stat for determination, as well as finishing pace and a few others as well. 4-star ability, 5-star potential, on less than £500 a week, has come from Norwich where he did play 1 league game. I'm just seeing if he played any cup matches as well. I don't think he did. But a fantastic young player, scored in his debut in Europe, and looks like he's got the attributes to really take this league by storm. Natural advance forward, quality striker, and training really well already. I like this kid. I think he's a great signing. However, he didn't play as well in that European game as the next man, Josh Thomas, who also comes in on a free. 20-year-old Welsh under-21 international, released by Swansea, having never played a league game, has played in Europe for us now, of course. Just checking again, no cup games for Swansea. But he's got 4-star ability, 5-star potential too. £550 a week. Not quite as good in the finish, but exceptional mentally, exceptional physically. And likes to be a poacher, likes to get in behind, likes to press the defensive players and training well too. If those front two reach their potential and we don't end up losing them for a pittance, they are going to be superstars for this save. And the third one, who's just coming back from injury, might well be the same. So looking at it, it's Max Dean, a 19-year-old English striker. Again, 4-star ability, 5-star potential. Had spells at Everton and Leeds as a youngster, and now joins us with 12 for finishing, 13 composure, 13 for pace. He's got everything to be a basic brilliant striker. Again on a modest wage, and I think moving forward, Thomas we have to keep. He's Welsh, he's got the personality as well, but then if we can keep one of the other two and sell one of them on for big money, that could well be the future of this save sorted out. So let me know what you think of the signings, because those last 4 I'm very excited about. I still think we've got a couple of things to sort out defensively. We've got a centre-half potentially to come in, a holding midfielder potentially to come in, and hopefully some fullbacks that are going to improve as well. We're really relying on Jack Hankin this year, the youth prospect, to improve off the pitch and take over the mantle. Otherwise, it could be a long season. But the signs are positive, as you can probably work out from those transfers. We've decided to stick with the same tactic. Now, not exactly the same. I'm in the same formation, the same shape. We've adjusted a few of these things. We're playing a little bit wider, involving the fullbacks more. We've reduced the tempo slightly to try and take pressure off the passing. We've also pushed up the line of engagement a little bit. We've tried to keep the pressing high. I might even bring that down a tone. We'll see how it goes as the season goes on. I don't want players to get burnout as we move through the year. But so far, the evidence is really good. We're still playing around with a few of the individual instructions and roles. But we won 3-1 away at Torpedo in the first leg of the qualifying for Europe. So I think we can say it's a pretty good job done. Thomas scored a brace, Duffy scored 1, even Press was brilliant, Hockenhull at centre-half was a rock, and Hankin played well when he came on free from Vaughan. So there's a lot of positives there, and we've got to back it up today. The second leg, at home, we should be getting through. And my job is to make sure we don't throw it away. So Hackett played poorly in the last game. I am going to give Palmer his debut today. We're trying some slightly different tactical roles in the middle as well. I was thinking generally to play with a Carolero and a box-to-box. So we've got one working across the line and one working through the lines. That's the general idea, but we're going to stick with 2 box-to-boxes for this one, just because I want to get some fitness into the lads. Goodrich is playing as a ball winner in the holding role. Him and Coyle rotating there. I think there's every chance Mo Silla could be moving on. And unfortunately, Samuel Fanian got in a strop. We didn't do anything with him. He just got a bit upset because we signed lots of good strikers and said, I'm not sure there's a space for me anymore. And he might well be right moving forward, but I still intended on him being part of the squad this year. But he might be forcing his way out, so we'll see if that happens. The likes of Gwenault and Rogers are injured. There's a couple more out as well. We mentioned Reed on international duty. And we've got a few trialists in, 2 of which might join by the next episode. But after a good first leg, this is our 11 to try and see us through to the next round. It's a Brett in goal, Vaughan and Bolton the fullbacks, with Harbottle and Hockenhull at centre-half. We've got Goodridge in the holding role, Press and Palmer as the box-to-box midfielders, and then Pixley in behind Thomas and Duffy up front, who had an exceptional first leg, and we need more from them in front of our own fans. Into the second leg we go, a good 3-1 lead on the road, and surely we can't throw it away from here. Let's go and find out. So 2 changes from the first leg. We've of course got Cammy Palmer coming in for his debut. He replaces Hackett, and then Goodridge in for Liam Coyle in the holding role. Like for like swaps during the game last time out in terms of Goodridge, so not a big problem. But let's tell the lads to pick up where they left off. We should be able to beat them. We want more of the same. Pixley and Goodridge motivated. Goodridge an important one to have in that 11 because he's got that determination. He's got that character. So let's see if it works out. The second leg is here at Namporth. I presume that's where we're playing anyway. Let's see if we can do it at home. But it's the visitors with an early throw on the left-hand side. Up to the striker. And they played some good football, to be fair. In the first leg, they played nicely. Zabret comes and claims that through ball. Does really well in goal. But they did play some good stuff. And they went ahead in that first leg. It's just we were so threatening on the counter. As Harbottle goes long downfield. Still playing at centre-half because of those injuries and because of those international honours. And he's got the ball here again in his own back 4. Goes long to Thomas. Duffy's up with him. Back to Pixley instead. Wide to even Press. The new signing playing on his preferred right-hand side of the diamond. Into Joe Duffy. And he gets his second goal for the club as well. And that's the quality of the new signings. Pixley gets it wide to Press. He gets a wonderful ball in. And he's willing to run in behind, which the box-to-box is so crucial for. He gets that ball into the box and Joe Duffy making a near-post run. It's all a match made in heaven so far. As Harbottle goes over the top, Thomas is there. He's not going to go quiet either. Into the action with a goal himself. And 2 goals in 7 minutes. We're definitely through here with Bangor City. But you've got to say, the new signings look fantastic. Well, 5 minutes to the break. It's all gone very quiet since those 2 early goals. A thoroughly professional display. And with 30 minutes of stoppage time to go in this first period, it's Ethan Vaughan with the ball through to Joe Duffy. Chance to shoot, but he's challenged in the box. It's back out to Vaughan again. Got 2 inside of him. It's a great ball in, actually. Really slid in, forced the keeper to make the save. And he does well to hold it in the end. Downfield, Hockenhull intercepts. Definitely the rock of our centre-halves. And we've got to rely on him this season with a new man potentially coming in. As Duffy crosses the ball, it's headed clear as far as Bolton. And this is a good pressured end to the first half. It's a through ball to Thomas, who volleys it in. Over the shoulder. That technique is stunning. Thomas puts it in. It is 3-0 to Bangor City. And I'm getting more and more confident for the season ahead. I know Torpedo aren't the best opposition. I know the Welsh League's improving. TNS making some great signings. Barry filling out the squad again. And Connors Key signing some of our old pros, But into the second half, it's 6-1 on aggregate. And the new signings have been absolutely brilliant. We'll give it another 15 or so. Then maybe we'll try and get some of the youngsters on. As Duffy kicks off back to Hockenhull, we're hoping for a really positive start to this half. Bolton gets it into Harbottle again. Goodridge has picked up a knock, so I'll take him off in a minute as the through ball's intercepted. Cleared long by the Georgians, only to Ethan Vaughan though, and at right back he mops up well. Again, it's something that seems to have happened since the update. A few of you guys have said it in the Discord as well. The right back ratings have been atrocious since, and I don't quite know what's caused it. It's not necessarily the same on the left as well. It really is quite weird. As the ball comes out to the Georgians on that right hand side, Tevzade gets over the top, it's into the box. And it's disallowed for offside, I think. Looked very close to me. I'm not entirely convinced. But it's 3-0 still. We survived one there. Let's go and take Goodridge off, who is really struggling physically. I could bring on Coyle at 23. He's still got the bigger potential. I was going to say Silla's much younger. But Coyle's got the biggest potential. So let's get him on. He's going to go in the holding role. Ideally, I'd like to save the other 2 subs for Hankin, the Youth Academy player, and Max Dean for his debut up front. But which striker would I take off today? I just don't know. Thomas goes over the top again. He's really working hard. And it finds its way back to Cammy Palmer. Finds Bolton. Not the best pass, but still finds his target. And Harbottle goes long. The keeper gets there. And I have absolutely no idea why we've seen that. It's a very bizarre move. The long clearance is very good. They've got him behind here. Torpedo on the edge of the box. They beat the centre-half. And the shot goes wide. It goes high. And it's pretty ugly in truth. But a really poor start to the second half defensively. And we really should have conceded. We got away with one for offside. And we got away with a poor finish on the counter there. But we've got a free kick with Palmer on the left. Just past the hour mark. It's the last highlight before we'll make the other 2 changes. As Hockenhull picks it up here. Coming back from the set piece. Finds Ethan Vaughan. Over to Thomas. And it's headed away well. I'm a little worried about these counter-attacks. They're starting to look quite good out here. And we don't want them getting 1 or 2 and building a bit of confidence. I know it's almost impossible for them to score 5 here, but we wouldn't rule it out. We've done stupider things in this series. As it comes out wide again, Vaughan nicks it. Really good defending. It's cleared far again though, and the Georgians are on continued attacks, and it's an own goal for Zabret. The shot thunders the post, it comes back out, and it hits Zabret on the back of the head. Nothing he could do about it. But certainly not the best start to this half. I'm a little bit concerned about the way we're performing. Again at right back, Ethan Vaughan is rated awfully. It's something we can't seem to stem the tide of. So Jack Hankin will come on for him. And I'm going to replace Joe Duffy with Max Dean. I want to get a debut on up front, so we'll see how Dean does. I'm going to switch Palmer to the Carolero role. Just give us someone sitting a bit deeper. And with 20 to go, it's still 3-1. Josh Thomas has got a knock, so he might miss the next game if that twisted knee is bad. Not a vintage performance, but a good display and a comfortable win in Europe. The result's all that matters, the coefficient improves. We've got nothing else we can complain about. And there we go. 92 minutes played, 3-1, a comfortable win. I'm worried about the second half performance, perhaps the complacency again. The last 2 signings we're looking for, they've got that determination. They've got that sort of edge to not let goals in. And I'm hoping that will make a big difference, because I feel like that's all we're missing. We tried to get a bit more experience in, which hasn't worked out, because the wage demands are just so high. If we look at Josh Thomas, he's out for 6 to 9 days, so we'll miss the first leg of the next tie. Goodridge is out for one day. He'll be fine. Bangor win comfortably. Palmer and Dean make their debuts. Another 75,000, which is excellent. And we're back for Dinamo Brest next Thursday. A really good side from Belarus. They've got mostly greyed out players. And if we have a look at the attribute set, you can see some of them, like the striker there, are much better than us. Others, if we drop to number 10, and if we drop to some of the midfielders, there's a mix of some that are much better than us, and some that are basically neck and neck. So I'm not completely ruling us out. I don't think we'll get through. But we've got through a qualifying round, and we've got a decent side in the next game. So we will be back for that in a week's time. I'm hoping we'll have 2 more signings by then as well. We're going to play the reserves in the friendly, get to Dinamo Brest next week. And I guess the positive is, if we do lose in that tie, I know financially it's a trouble, but by the time we get to Bala on the first day of the season, we won't have European interruption. And last season, that cost us at the start. I think we had 1 point from 3 games, didn't we? So to be able to better that this time will make a difference. The finances haven't gone up anywhere near as much as last year because we didn't have Champions League football this season. And that might be something that tells towards the end. But for now, I'm pretty happy. 2 good performances, lots of good signings with a couple more to come. And a big European tie coming up in the next episode. So I hope you're looking forward to that. If you are and you're enjoying the series, please do put a thumbs up on the video. We'll have the head coach tomorrow as we continue our move into season 4. And then on New Year's Eve, we will be back for this big one with Bangor City. If you want to stay up to date and make sure you don't miss any of the action, please do subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on. You'll get alerts as daily content releases on the channel from 2 long-term stories. We've also got live streams twice a week. The next one, today at 5:30. You can catch up with all the series playlists and of course the podcast channel in the eye above. But a massive thank you for watching, for joining for another season. Let me know what you think of the transfers. Let me know what you think of our European prospects. And do you think we can regain that title? I'll see you next time as we continue to find out.